it feels dissatisfying when a flag like that at the end of the game is thrown, because then you can say, well, the officials decided it, not the players. And I totally empathize with that feeling if you're a fan walking away from last night going, that wasn't the way you wanted to see it end. Totally understand that. Totally vibe with that. But that's different than saying it's the wrong call. And that's where I come down. Do I like the idea of late in a Super Bowl on a 3rd and long incomplete, a flag thrown to extend a drive? No, I don't like that. But do I understand, accept, and agree that the flag can be thrown there? Yes. Because it's also not a play that doesn't affect the outcome of the play. It's not a move that doesn't affect the outcome. It does. Even though it happens before the pass is thrown, making it defensive holding instead of pass interference. If you hold, grab, tug the receiver, even for a brief moment, it prevents him from getting the release. And in that case, there's no doubt there's a tug and a grab. It's two different ones. Early in the play, it's a tug, and then they break apart, and then there's a grab. So what Steratore says there is absolutely right. It does affect the receiver's ability to get the step on the defense to where that play can then be completed and a touchdown. Not just a first down, a touchdown for the Chiefs. So I think that, that is a foul that, while the timing is dissatisfying, is not an incorrect call. That's the first part. The second part is Gene Steratore is one of many former officials or rules analysts that agreed with the call. And the player that grabbed him agreed with the call. Bradbury says, I held him. I grabbed him. I was hoping they were going to let it go. Now, you want to make the argument that that's usually a penalty, but you don't call it there? Okay, that's kind of what Greg Olson was arguing last night of the broadcast. That it's usually a penalty, but right there, you don't want it called. All right. But then you can't really say that about just that penalty. You've got to go back through the whole game, because every call in a tie Super Bowl has the opportunity to define the game. And I would go back to the second scoop and score touchdown. It appeared that the Chiefs defense scored. It's a pass out of the backfield. It is caught by the Eagles. It's a boom, boom play. It's popped loose, and the Chiefs have a defensive touchdown. It's called a fumble and a touchdown on the field. Thus, you need irrefutable evidence to overturn it. Did we have that? What the booth was suggesting was that they needed a third step, the infamous third step, which I suppose is a football move. But you can't say that the ball carrier didn't have possession. Caught the ball, planted 2 feet. I'd put it this way. If that reception happens on the sideline, okay, and it's an out pass to the sideline, Eagles receiver catches it, 2 feet are down, and he falls out of bounds. Wherever he fell out of bounds without being hit, that's where the ball would be. He established possession. It's good enough to be in bounds on the sideline. He caught it 2 feet down and then could have stepped out or fallen out or been hit out. It would have been right there. It would not have been an incomplete pass. But in this case, because he didn't make a third step of a football move moving forward, or because just in terms of timing, we got to break out stopwatches now, he didn't hold it for long enough, I didn't agree with that call. Because to me, if the receiver established possession, which he did, holding it and planting 2 feet on the ground, he is in possession of the football and has 2 feet on the ground. Possession's been established. He's hit, fumble out, touchdown the other way. That'll wipe 7 points off the board for the Chiefs. Thirdly, if you only dial into the Bradbury flag, you are conveniently ignoring the fact that the Eagles' defense, which had held the Chiefs to only 7 points in the first half, got scorched for 24 in the second half. Here's your drives by the Kansas City Chiefs after halftime when Mahomes was on one good ankle. Touchdown, 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 field goal. You can dial in on Bradbury's hold all you want and blame that all you want. But the fact is, they don't even have to call that a flag. And the Chiefs still had gone down the field in a tie game against the Eagles defense, where the Eagles defense absolutely had to get off the field. It had to, and they didn't. The Eagles could have sealed that game 3 different times before then on 3 other drives. He had a 10-point lead after halftime. And what happened after halftime? Chiefs went right down the field. Zing, 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 touchdown. 10-point lead suddenly became a 3-point lead. The Eagles' momentum had flipped so dramatically against them that the Chiefs had an 8-point lead. And think about that 18-point swing in the second half. Chiefs trailed by 10 at halftime, led by 8 in the fourth quarter. The Eagles have to own that too. You have to own that part of it. It does not just come down to the Bradbury flag. So while I understand the dissatisfaction with a flag at the end of a Super Bowl, it's a cop-out to circle that and say that's why the Eagles lost. If Butker makes a very makeable field goal there, the Chiefs lead by 3 with 1:40 to play, and the Eagles have to go down the field and score still. Maybe it happens, but there's a lot of iterations of the game that unfold that has nothing to do with the Bradbury flag as well.